Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. By viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm John Carroll in for Maya Tribulsi. Nearly 1.7 million Californians qualify for both Medicare and Medi-Cal. Starting in January, KPBS health reporter Heidi DeMarco says a major expansion will bring coordinated care options to residents of Imperial County.
Right now, people who qualify for both Medicare and Medi-Cal often juggle two plans, two insurance cards, and two sets of benefits.
But when they do qualify for both, it can often be hard to navigate the benefits of it.
Dr. Ian Neal is a UCSD health geriatrician. He treats patients in Medi-Medi plans, programs that combine Medicare and Medi-Cal into a single coordinated plan.
But with the benefit of having a care coordinator that helps you with finding doctor's appointments, understanding your prescriptions, setting up transportation to your visits.
San Diego County was among the first to offer Medi-Medi plans. Starting January 1st, Imperial County will join 29 new counties, giving local seniors and people with disabilities access to coordinated coverage for the first time.
There's about 15,000 that are in the county that could qualify for this, that have both Medicare and Medi-Cal.
One of the plans will be offered by the Community Health Plan of Imperial Valley. CEO Lawrence Lewis says,
what we're really charged with is making this much more convenient for the members.
A single point of contact, Lewis says, can be especially important in rural areas like Imperial County, where residents often face access barriers and a shortage of providers. Without coordination, some patients miss out on services they're already entitled to, including medical equipment, transportation, and in-home care.
Sometimes they don't even know that they have those services. And a lot of times when we're talking to them in clinic and we mention that they could access this through Medi-Cal, they're like, wait, we can do that?
Ultimately, Neal says coordinated care offered by Medi-Medi plans is about helping people stay healthier longer and can improve health outcomes for patients.
It's a way to really say, let's take patients that we know are frail and let's get an extra safety net around them.
Heidi DeMarco, KPBS News.
People in Lytle Creek, California are digging out and cleaning up after a storm flooded the community. Joy Benedict has the story.
It's a sound this community can't forget as water rushed through homes. Today, it's heavy machinery and shovels as several homeowners are still digging.
But over here is the 4 feet.
Sam's son lives along the North Fork of Lytle Creek. He owns one of several homes buried in last week's storm. He hired crews to help him dig out. Monday, he finally found his Christmas tree.
Oh, no choice. We're going to fix it. That's it. Because nobody, governor, the county, they know. And then even the trash, they not take it.
It goes all through the house. It's all in the bathroom.
Across the street, Selena Wright is trying to salvage anything left of her friend's home as the mud reaches the kitchen counter. The home is red tagged, all the belongings lost.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It is. So I want to do as much as I can to help,
Neighbors say the water rose quickly, covering bridges, trapping cars, and this community.
And we were standing there watching it, thinking it was horrible, but within a very short amount of time, it just took over the bridge completely, and we had to keep backing up on the road because it just kept coming closer and closer. It was very, very fast.
Robin Boyder lives in the neighborhood of Happy Jack. With one road in or out, she was trapped for several days after the floodwater washed away the road leading to the only bridge. Crews were able to make a temporary repair Sunday, reopening access to this community.
The response from everybody came so quickly. It was like a Christmas miracle.
Miracle, no one was injured. But a mess this community and these homeowners will be dealing with for months to come.
We're just lucky that this is all that it did.
Showers are increasing across most of the area this evening and into the night. Here we can have rain returning to most of the region through the overnight hours. We may be holding on to drier air just a little longer in places like Borrego Springs, but most of us are seeing the rain increase. It's going to be very wet New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, similar to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Holiday rain, the theme this holiday season. Flood watches are in effect from Orange County northward. Details ahead.
People who want to ride home on New Year's Eve that's safe and cheap can find it on San Diego Transit. KPBS reporter Thomas Fudge tells us how bus and trolley service will respond to New Year's revelries.
Happy New Year! The celebration of the new year always comes with the danger of some people driving while drunk. Stephen Whitburn is the chair of the Metropolitan Transit System.
Tens of thousands of people are going to be out having a good time on New Year's Eve. We support that, but we also want to make sure that everybody is getting home safely. So we're encouraging people not to drink and drive, to consider taking public transit.
He says in San Diego County, they typically have thousands more people using transit on New Year's Eve. This year, the MTS and the North County Transit District will be offering free service Wednesday night, and trolleys will be running later.
We are going to have additional service that actually continues all the way past midnight, and transit is going to be free around San Diego County on New Year's Eve after 6 p.m.
The last trains on local trolley lines and North County's Sprinter service will depart for their final run between 2 and 2:30 a.m. For more information on transit schedules and free service, Google New Year's Eve MTS or North County Transit. Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
Hundreds of Camp Pendleton Marines deployed this month to the U.S.-Mexico border. The Defense Department says the roughly 450 Marines from the 1st Combat Engineer Battalion are working near Yuma, Arizona as part of a regular rotation of forces. They replaced Marines from Combat Logistics Battalion 15, also based at Camp Pendleton. A new National Defense Area designation for much of California's border with Mexico treats the area as a military base, allowing military personnel to detain migrants. Since the first such designations in other border states, the Pentagon says there have been more than 3,000 migrant detentions. This week, KPBS is looking back on the top stories of 2025. At the top of many lists are the ICE raids that affected families across the country, especially here in our cross-border region. This Thursday, we're broadcasting an encore of our KPBS News special. It airs at 5 and 6:30 in place of Evening Edition. Reporters from KPBS News offer their insight and commentary on the biggest stories they covered this year. Here's a preview.
Anyone on social media has, whether you follow these accounts or you don't, the odds are you've been bombarded with images of the ICE raids.
And then he won't come back. How dare you?
It's impossible to ignore these images, these videos. And I think the public now, we're recording this in November, I think the public has a really good understanding of what these arrests look like.
On June 18th, the Robles Ortega family woke up at 6 a.m. to shattered windows and loud noises.
They threw, 2 flash grenades in here. They flew the drone in here, broke windows, and they were not saying who they were. We didn't know who it actually was. We were thinking it was ICE. Well, we were correct.
I don't think they know what happens afterwards. That's what a lot of my reporting has been trying to capture now. What happens after the viral video? What happens after the arrest?
What if I told you that the federal government has a database and it shows you exactly who is being held in immigration detention, and you can look it up?
What are the conditions that they're being detained in? What legal and questionably legal tactics is the administration using? I think all of those questions aren't fully answered in those viral videos, and I think what I hope to do with my reporting is show people what happens afterwards.
You can approach people at any other time, and yet you're choosing to do it as they're picking up their kids, as they're dropping off their children, and that's unacceptable.
It could be really traumatizing to see for someone who is really young to see a parent, even if it's not theirs, getting arrested.
DHS said ICE agents arrested you because her visa to be in the U.S. expired nearly 8 years ago. The agency confirmed reports that Yu's children were in the car when they arrested her.
To me, what really stood out were the condemnation that came from local officials.
Chula Vista City Council member Michael Insunza says the agents crossed a line by arresting Yu as students were arriving at school.
There's no reason for us to go the extra step and dramatically and intentionally arrest people whose only crime is being undocumented.
Immediately after the arrest, the school itself put out a statement reaffirming that the school would take steps to prevent them from accessing the campus. And we've seen this from a number of schools around the county, not just in South Bay.
Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish calls itself an immigrant church. In January, the Trump administration took back a long-standing policy that churches, schools, and hospitals were generally off limits to immigration raids and arrests.
That just sent, I would say, fear tremors throughout the community.
I really look for ways that it's impacting the community even beyond the immigrants themselves. These are ripple effects that affect everyone in San Diego, especially being such a big immigrant community and an immigrant city. And so I'm really looking at how is the community responding? How is this affecting all of us?
ICE was holding Shia at the Imperial County Regional Detention Facility in Calexico. Shia died after having a seizure at the detention center, according to ICE. Immigrant rights groups say Shia's death fits into a pattern of dwindling oversight and increasingly harsh conditions at the Imperial County Detention Center and others across the country.
ICE and the company that runs the facility itself, the private prison company, Management and Training Corporation, don't share a whole lot of information. And that's become increasingly the case this year, according to immigrants' rights advocates that I've spoken to, who've said that they've been able to visit detainees since 2022 inside the facility, but that earlier this year, starting in August, they've been denied access to speak with people who are being held there.
It's been a difficult year for me covering this stuff. It's been really heavy, and you are exposed to reading and hearing a lot of horrible stories. But one bit of hope and source for inspiration is seeing how people are responding to this, all kinds of different ways. There are people who are seeing these images, or either firsthand or on social media. They don't like what they're seeing, and they want to do something about it. And they're finding their own way of pushing back. Unión del Barrio, they organize ride-alongs, morning patrols around schools and different immigrant communities. There are mutual aid networks who are supporting undocumented folks with groceries. There are volunteers going to the detention center, volunteers going to immigration court to just witness any arrests that happen at immigration court. And I think you see it all over the country. There are kind of just small pockets of resistance against what the administration is doing, and everyone finding their own unique role.
Our KPBS News special airs here on KPBS Thursday at 5, but you can already find it on our streaming platforms. The special is available on KPBS Plus and the KPBS YouTube page.
I'm Nick Schifrin. Tonight on the NewsHour, the U.S. increases pressure on the Maduro regime with a strike inside Venezuela. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
The Holiday Bowl is an annual San Diego event where top college football teams from across the U.S. come here to play. KPBS reporter Jacob Ayer says for the first time, the game is being held in January.
For nearly 5 decades, college football's Holiday Bowl has called San Diego home.
This year, University of Arizona and Texas's Southern Methodist University are the two teams going head-to-head.
This is the first time in the 46-year history of the Trust and Will Holiday Bowl that the game will be held in January.
Natalie Schneck is Vice President of Marketing with Sports San Diego, who produces the event. She says the game is set to take place at Snapdragon Stadium this Friday, January 2nd.
We have two incredible teams that are bringing a lot of fans from near and far. Arizona and SMU both have incredible alumni organizations across the country, really strong support. And then, of course, we have our local San Diegans, our loyal locals who also come to this game year in and year out.
The day is about much more than the on-field action. There are also events downtown, including a 5K run and a large parade.
You can expect to see bands from both teams, balloons, floats, and there's also a lot of local organizations that march in the parade as well.
The Holiday Bowl draws out-of-town tourists to the region during the slower winter months, says USD Professor of Economics Alan Jin. He says while last year's attendance for the game was historically low, he expects a bit of a rebound this year due to the proximity of the teams that are playing.
It attracts people then from outside of the region. They're going to come and they're going to stay in hotel rooms. They're going to spend money in restaurants, in bars, maybe in retail stores. And so that'll give a boost then to the local economy.
Kickoff for the Holiday Bowl is 5 p.m. on Friday. Schneck says as of Monday morning, there were a little over 3,000 unsold tickets. The 5K run and parade take place Friday morning along San Diego's downtown waterfront. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
Families struggling to make ends meet can expect a significant boost in 2026 thanks to state and local minimum wage hikes. Starting January 1st, the new state minimum wage jumps from $16.50 to $16.90 an hour, and the city of San Diego's will climb to $17.75 an hour. It's the final increase through the city's sick leave and minimum wage ordinance that took effect in 2016. Starting July 1st, hospitality workers will make anywhere from $19 to just over $21 an hour. Hospitality workers are set to make $25 an hour by 2030.
To be able to have a job that's making $25 an hour consistently means a little bit more stability. Deal with that. I have plenty of coworkers who I wonder where their next meal is coming from sometimes.
San Diego is considered one of the most expensive cities in the country. According to MIT's wage calculator, a single adult needs to make at least $30 an hour to support themselves here. The clock is ticking down on 2025, but you still have time to take care of your health before we move on to the new year. Mandy Gaither talks to a family physician about what to cross off your year-end checklist.
You're done checking off that holiday shopping list. Now it's time to move on to another one.
This is a great opportunity to take stock of what's going well and what's not going well in terms of your health.
Dr. Keisha Davis with the American Academy of Family Physicians says first up on your year-end health checklist, taking stock of your medical needs. If you have conditions like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and obesity, determine if you need a health reset in the new year and factor in family health history. Next on the list, preventative maintenance.
Are my vaccines up to date? Are those cancer screenings up to date for women? Have you gotten those, pap smears and breast exams? For our gentlemen, have you gotten the prostate cancer screening? For everybody, have you gotten the colon cancer screening or lung cancer screening if you're a current or former smoker?
Davis says to also go over the medications and supplements you're taking. Maybe some can be consolidated, decreased, or discontinued altogether. Next, check on your mental and emotional well-being. That includes social connection before and after the new year.
Even though people often are all around us, it can also be a time of feeling really lonely.
And finally, look at your lifestyle choices. Are you getting quality sleep, good nutrition? Do you exercise? All are critical for overall health.
You don't have to wait for New Year's to start that resolution. You can start it right now.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, we have a lot to talk about here through New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, similar to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Wet weather for the holidays. We have increasing rainfall tonight. The heaviest rain overall with this batch is going to occur late Wednesday into early Thursday. So as we turn the page from 2025 to 2026, and some spotty showers will linger into Friday, January 2nd. But tonight, showers increase, 62 your low, lots of clouds out there. And overall, most of us in the southwest will be experiencing some rain, but the heaviest rain will be from approximately San Diego northwestward up into areas around Los Angeles. Some well to our north will see more than 2 inches of rain up into the mountains north of, all the way to the north of LA. But for us tomorrow, very wet day, widespread rain to close out 2025 for coastal areas and areas just a little bit inland. If you're far inland, it'll be cloudy, but generally not as wet in Borrego Springs or Mount Laguna. Temperatures will be nudging downward a bit. You can see the area of showers, mainly western or coastal parts of Southern California, all the way up into the San Joaquin Valley even on Wednesday. And then a soggy start to 2026 with soaking rain across our whole region. Again, there will be some travel delays tied to this. Now, if we compare this with last week's event, it may not be quite as intense when we had over 4 inches up in downtown LA. This time, 1 to 2 inches from Los Angeles all the way down through San Diego and down south of the border as well. So it's going to be very wet. And again, the wettest weather rolls into our area New Year's Eve, late into early New Year's Day. So late Wednesday into early Thursday. Flood watches are in effect for Orange County up into Los Angeles County, other areas into western San Bernardino County as well. Future radar and satellites show these waves of rain rolling in. Here's Wednesday morning. We're into it. It increases during the day. We get a little break. More rounds of this may be a little pesky on New Year's morning. Here we have Thursday morning soaking rain in the area, especially up into areas just to the north into Orange County as well. So we have our hands full with some showers. Friday, most of the action will be peeling away to the east. There may be some spotty leftover sprinkles or a shower or two, but it does not look as heavy. Friday night, though, we have a better chance of some showers. This is more kind of a Friday night situation as this next wave rolls in, primarily anchored farther to our north. So locally, we've got rain turning cooler, soaking rain to kick off 2026. The clouds linger for Friday. Friday night to Saturday, a few showers return to coastal areas, and we do turn a little bit brighter, but certainly drier on Sunday. Inland areas, very wet Wednesday and Thursday, a little drier Friday, another wave of precipitation Friday night, late into Saturday morning, and then drier for Sunday. Into the mountains we go. Still a lot of clouds and showers. The wettest days in the mountains will be Thursday and again on Saturday. Turning cool there before the rebound on Sunday. And in the deserts, lots of clouds, lots of showers. The wettest day in the deserts will indeed be New Year's Day itself. Cool as well, 59 for your high. And then a nice rebound into Sunday. We're looking forward to that. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Cornish for KPBS News.
There are a lot of things that make San Diego the great place it is, including the fact we have not one, but 2 great public radio stations. So when federal budget cuts hit this summer, both KPBS and KSDS Jazz 88.3 took big hits. I dropped by yesterday to see how San Diego's other public radio station is weathering the storm.
San Diego's Jazz 88.3, Dwayne Clemens out front with the trumpet.
This isn't Gary Beck's first time at the Radio Rodeo.
Oh my God, 52 years this October.
Beck was born in San Diego, and he got his start here, but he's also been on the air in Los Angeles and New York. He's been back on the air at KSDS for 15 years now. In the last half century, he's seen and heard it all. With all that under his broadcast belt, he's content to spend his last years at one of the last true jazz radio stations in the U.S. You get to play the music, unlike all those other stations. You get to play the music you like.
We pick it, yeah. We all add something to the station, and we know the music. If you didn't know the music, you couldn't do it.
We visited KSDS last August, a few days after they'd gotten the news of a more than $200,000 hole being blown right through their budget. They did a special 3-day fundraiser right after that, and they've had a membership drive since then.
I think we're about 70% maybe. So we're pretty much on schedule.
Part of General Manager Ken Poston's job is worrying about the bottom line. But as 2025 comes to a close, he's seeing positive signs.
Because, you know, we always take in our normal amount of membership, which means this year we have to take in 200,000 more in some combination. So all indications are that we are on track to do that. But I'm just cautious but optimistic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your support.
Part of keeping the dollars flowing in has to do with how the station positions itself. A lot of that involves reminding listeners of just how rare this place is.
San Diego is one of the last places that actually has this. And, you know, there's just a handful of full-time jazz radio stations left.
And there's something else unique about public radio in San Diego. Other cities like LA have more than one station like KPBS that are NPR member stations. They, in essence, compete with one another. That's not an issue here.
We have it here to where we complement each other, the people, and there's people, you know, we have a lot of people that support both stations.
Next stop, New Year's. Sonny Clark, Cool Strut.
Back in the on-air booth, and Gary Beck is doing his thing, keeping the jazz rolling and not worrying about the future.
With the great listeners that we have and the good staff that we have, we just keep going. You know, you can't look over your shoulder. You got to keep going forward, you know.
Yes. You can help keep both KSDS and KPBS moving forward. To support KSDS, just go to jazz88.org/donate. And we always welcome your support, like KSDS, in any amount that's comfortable for you. You can support us at kpbs.org, and you'll see the big blue Give Now button up in the right corner. And we thank you very much. Part of what makes San Diego great, you guys. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thank you so very much for joining us. I'm John Carroll. Have a great evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.